Hello there guys, I am Vikrant and you are watching CG Epic. Today I am going to show you how to make a broken pillar in Blender. So let's get started. So let's start by scaling the default cube on Z axis and giving it kinda a pillar shape. This is just some simple modeling. I'll just change it from median point to individual origins so that it can be easier. So I will just select this faces and extrude and just do some simple modeling. I'll just skip this part up. Our pillar is done. So I will just go ahead and add in the bevel modifier so that it looks a bit realistic and appealing. So the bevel is too harsh. I will just change it later. You can just try adding in some cavity or shadow. For this video, I'll just disable cavity and we will do the rest of the sculpting. Before doing the sculpting, I will mess around with the bevel's amount so that it looks a bit more realistic, so that we get the scraped edges on pillars and stuff. So this looks kinda good. So I'll just switch to sculpting mode, and there's a brush called as clay strips. So it is going to help us for making the sculpting and stuff. Before that, I will just add in a cube and add in the subdivision surface modifier with the level of subdivision to be 3. So using a displace modifier, we can just give the main start of the broken pillar. So let's get started. We will just give it the simple structure which we want to give the pillar. So now I'll just go ahead and add in the displace modifier. So I'll add in the displace modifier and choose a new texture on it and press that little icon there and just change it from image to clouds. If I just hide the pillar, you can see that there's fractal action happening on the sphere. So now I will just go ahead and shade it flat. Now you can mess around with the amount of the clouds there and give it a rocky looking structure so that we can use a boolean modifier and remove some part, and then we can use our sculpting tools to do the rest of the job. So I'll just grab the rock like structure on Z axis now and align it where we want most of the broken structure to be. So at the start I will just do it some simple aligning of the rock, so and then use a boolean modifier on the pillar. Make sure you are selecting the pillar when using the boolean modifier. So now I will just go ahead and select the pillar over here and go into modifiers tab. So after I go into the modifiers tab, I will just go ahead and add in a boolean modifier. So I will add in the boolean modifier over here. So the boolean modifier, and then I will change the type of the boolean modifier to difference, and I will choose the rock as the object, and then if we just hide the rock and the second pillar which we just made, we can see that we have the broken structure on it. I just duplicated it so that we can, if one of our pillars gets wrong, we can just change it later. So I will just rotate it and do some fractal action, and then I will just speed up the process. So I will just speed up this process. Now we can start with the sculpting. I am going to use the clay strips option there. You can see that it's giving us the broken like structure but not as we want it to. So hold on Control on your keyboard and then use the brush, and you can see that there's some pretty cool looking results happening. And make sure to disable mirroring. From that it just mirrors over the other end, as you can see. So just press Ctrl Z and remove that mirroring of the sculpt brush. So you can just go ahead and use the clay strips and some other brushes and give it a fractal looking action. So I just used this method and made a rock like slab over there. So I will just open and show it to you. So this, as you can see, this is, I just made it for just 5 minutes and this is ready. This looks kind of broken, but I just did it for a time lapse like 7 minute challenge. So you can use this brushes and make the broken looking structure like this. So now we'll go back to our pillar to do the other stuff. Now we can continue with the sculpting of the pillar. So I will just do a scraped like look near here, somewhat like here, and then I will just change the mess with the radius of the brush and make sure that we intersect the brush with the other markings a lot so that it looks improper like broken like structure thing. So I will just do it all around the object and then use other brushes like clay thumb and mostly the clay brushes and layer strips and draw sharp brush to give the broken like scraped look. So I will just speed up this process a bit. Sometimes when you are using the clay strips brush, you can see that it doesn't sculpt very well. There are some sharp, janky looking edges over there which doesn't look good. You can solve them by using the smooth brush. So this is after somewhat like 7 minutes of work and this looks pretty broken and stuff. So I'm just use some smaller radius brushes to do the inside of the broken pillar and I think it's looking pretty good already. Then I will just go ahead and smoothen out the other edges and it will look just fine. Now the pillar is complete and you can see that after using the clay strips brush a lot, this looks pretty good according to me. So you can do this easily in less than 15 or 20 minutes. So this is it for today guys. See you in my next video. Thank you.